Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app, and there you can get the current affairs in quiz format as well as in digest format. And this is how you can attempt the quiz. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube. So now let's start. Rohtang Pass, which was seen in news recently, is located in which Indian state or in Union Territory? Right answer is Himachal Pradesh. So this Rohtang Pass is on the eastern Pir Panjal range and it is in Himachal Pradesh, and it is strategically located to link Kullu Valley with Lahore and Spiti valleys in Himachal Pradesh. And recently it was in news as BRO opened it to the general public. What is BRO? It is Border Road Organization. It was formed in 1960 and it is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. Jeevan Shakti Yojana, a scheme to encourage women to make masks, is an initiative of which Indian state? So, it is an initiative of Madhya Pradesh government to encourage urban women, that means women who are in urban areas, to make masks and to provide them a financial assistance. So, as per this scheme, women can make masks and then government will purchase these masks after paying rupee 11 per mask. So, this is an initiative of Madhya Pradesh government. The state was also in news as recently former Madhya Pradesh Minister Hazari Lal Raghuvanshi passed away. Apart from that, Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently Shivraj Singh Chauhan became the new Chief Minister of State. Madhya Pradesh was also in news because of COVID Yodha Kalyan scheme. As per this scheme, employees are insured for rupee 50 lakh. That means the Corona warriors are insured for rupee 50 lakh. And the family of these warriors will be given the benefit of other government schemes. Recently, this COVID Yodha Kalyan scheme was in news as Madhya Pradesh government decided to include the energy department staff in this Mukhyamantri COVID Yodha Kalyan scheme. COVID Pharma, a mobile application to track people who purchase medicine for probable symptoms of COVID-19 over the counter, has been launched by which Indian state? So, it has been launched by Andhra Pradesh, and it is going to track the people who purchase medicine for probable symptoms of COVID-19 like cough, cold and fever from the medical stores. Now, if we talk about few other mobile applications which were in news recently, Assess Corona is a mobile app by Delhi government to tackle coronavirus. Apart from that, recently CISF launched e-Karyalaya app. CISF is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Apart from that, recently IIT Delhi developed Vas Karo app to warn about COVID-19. Apart from that, recently Rajasthan government launched IU and Sehat Sathi app. Now coming back to Andhra Pradesh was also in news as recently the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister launched Jagannanna Vidya Divana scheme. So it is a fees reimbursement scheme and the fees will be directly credited to the account of mother of that particular student. And through the scheme, the state government will provide fees reimbursement for ITI, BTech, B Pharmacy, MBA and MCA courses. And the eligible candidates will receive an amount worth rupee 15,000 to rupee 20,000 through this scheme. Which country abolished the prevalent corporal punishment of flogging? So it is Saudi Arabia. So recently, Saudi Arabia abolished it. Saudi Arabia was also in news as recently it abolished death penalty for crimes committed by minors. Minors means those who are below 18 years. Now Saudi Arabia was also in news as it is the president of G20 this year. Next year, Italy is going to be the host of G20 summit, and in 2022, India is going to host G20 summit. Saudi Arabia was also in news as recently it became a full-fledged member of FATF, that is Financial Action Task Force, and Saudi Arabia is the first country in Arab world to get this full membership. The headquarters of FATF is in OECD Secretariat. It is in France, in Paris. Apart from that, Saudi Arabia was also in news as the headquarters of OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Cooperation, is in Saudi Arabia in Jeddah. And recently, OIC urged India to protect the rights of Muslim community. From the Great Lockdown to Great Meltdown is a report by which global organization? So it is a report by UNCTAD, that is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And this report highlighted that the repayment of public debt by the developing countries will have a huge impact on their economy. Now, UNCTAD also released Trade and Development Report. Apart from that, recently UNCTAD announced that it is going to cancel over 1 trillion of debt owned by developing countries. Now, answer in comment box which organization released global report on food crisis. Preeti Sudhan, who was in news recently, is the secretary of which union ministry? Right answer is MOHFW, that is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Actually, she was in news as recently she has been given a 3-month extension as the Secretary of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Apart from her, recently Tarun Bajaj has been appointed as the new Economic Affairs Secretary. He is going to replace Atanu Chakrabarti. Apart from him, recently Rajesh Verma has been appointed as the new Corporate Affairs Secretary. He is going to replace Injeti Srinivas. Which state promulgated an ordinance to make blocking burial or cremation of victims of notified disease as a criminal offense? So this was done by Tamil Nadu. Now actually, due to fake news at various places, people started blocking the burial or cremation of those who died due to this COVID-19. And because of this, it led to the stigmatization. So now the step has been taken by Tamil Nadu government through an ordinance, and it made blocking the burial or cremation of victims as a criminal offense. So as per the official statement, people who are going to do such thing will face a minimum jail term of 1 year to a maximum of 3-year imprisonment. And this was done at the backdrop of agitations against the burial of 2 doctors who died due to COVID-19. Now Tamil Nadu was also in news as recently it became the first state to enact a law on contract farming. Recently, Uttarakhand became the first state to implement agricultural land leasing policy. Uttarakhand was also in news as recently it announced that Garsen is going to be its summer capital. If we talk about ordinance, Article 123 contains the provisions of ordinance powers of President, while Article 213 contains the ordinance powers of Governor. As on February 2020, which country held the maximum value of US government securities as per the recent data of US Treasury Department? So, it is Japan. Japan was the largest holder of US securities, and Japan was followed by China. India is at 13th position in terms of holding US securities. Now, if we talk about Japan, Japan was also in news as it is the host of Tokyo Summer Olympic Games, and recently they were postponed to 2021. Japan was also in news because of Nintendo. It is a Japanese multinational video game company, and recently it was in news as the company announced that 160,000 accounts have been hacked. The headquarters of Nintendo is in Kyoto. The headquarters of Nintendo is in Kyoto, and there's a Kyoto Protocol. Answer in comment box, this Kyoto Protocol is associated to which field? Now, coming back to Tokyo Olympics. So, because of the postponement of Tokyo Olympics, World Games, which was supposed to be in 2021, now they were postponed to 2022. And USA is the host of World Games. Recently, USA was in news as it announced to stop WHO funding. WHO is World Health Organization. USA was also in news as recently Indo-American diplomat Manisha Singh was appointed as US next envoy to OECD. OECD stands for Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. What is the theme of World Intellectual Property Day, which is celebrated on 26th of April? So the theme is Innovate for a Green Future. Every year it is celebrated on 26th of April and it is organized by WIPO. WIPO is World Intellectual Property Organization. Headquarters is in Geneva and it is a United Nations organization. The theme was Innovate for a Green Future. International Chernobyl Disaster Remembrance Day is observed on 26th of April. In which country is the Chernobyl power plant located? So it is in Ukraine and it is one of the world's worst nuclear disaster that took place in 1986 on 26th of April. And in 2009, UN, that is United Nations, launched ICRIN. It is International Chernobyl Research and Information Network. So this network was announced to support the programs in developing the affected area due to this Chernobyl nuclear disaster. As per the annual report of SIPRI, which country is the highest military spender in the world? So recently, SIPRI, that is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, released a report. And the title of that report was Trends in World Military Expenditure. As per this report, global military spending was approximately 2.2% of the global GDP. Apart from that, according to this recent report, USA is the highest military spender in the world. USA spent $732 billion as military expenditure. China is on second position with $261 billion expenditure. And India is on third position with $71.1 billion. Now, if we talk about SIPRI, the headquarters is in Solna in Sweden. It is important to note that as per this recent report, the global military expenditure increased 3.6% as compared to previous year. Pitch Black is a multilateral air combat training exercise is hosted by the Air Force of which country? So it is hosted by the RAAF, that is Royal Australian Air Force, and it is a multilateral air combat training exercise. It was in news as recently Australia has informed India that this exercise has been cancelled due to COVID-19 pandemic. Australia was also in news as recently it launched COVID Safe app for contact tracing of coronavirus. It is similar to our Arogya Setu app. So this COVID Safe app is an app by Australia. Australia was also in news as recently Australian cricket all-rounder Graham Watson passed away. He was associated to cricket. If we talk about few other events related to cricket, recently PCB, that is Pakistan Cricket Board, banned Umar Akmal. So Umar Akmal is a Pakistani cricketer that has been banned for 3 years. Apart from him, recently Jhuma Khatun was banned for 4 years for using banned substances. And Jhuma Khatun is an Indian middle distance runner. Now, with Australia, we have 2+2 dialogue also. Answer in comment box. It is at ministerial level or at secretariat level. Which institution announced ₹50,000 crores special liquidity facility for mutual funds? So it was announced by RBI. RBI is Reserve Bank of India and this was announced for mutual funds. This was announced at the backdrop of shutting down of 6 debt funds by Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund. So banks can borrow 90-day funds from RBI at current repo rate and banks can use this fund to lend to mutual funds. What is current repo rate? It is 4.4%. Present RBI governor is Shaktikant Das. Recently, he was named as Banker of Year for Asia Pacific region. RBI was also in news as recently it launched Money app to help visually challenged people. Which industry has recorded the highest exports during the period April 2019 to January 2020? Right answer is chemical industry. So the chemical exports of India increased by approximately 7.43% during the April to January period of last fiscal, and the chemical industry became the top exporting sector of our country for the first time. It is important to note that the export of chemicals in this specified period constitutes approximately 14.35% of total exports. Who is our present Minister of Chemical and Fertilizers? He is Mr. D.V. Sadanand Gowda. So these were the important questions of today's quiz. Now I am going to cover certain news which are miscellaneous news. So first news is related to Airtel. Recently Airtel partnered with Nokia to enhance network capacity. Second news is related to TIFAC. It is Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council. So recently this council was in news as it is working on a strategy for the revival of Indian economy after this lockdown. Now answer in comment box, it is under which ministry? Third news is related to IIT Delhi. So recently IIT Delhi has developed a web-based dashboard for tracking and predicting the spread of COVID-19. And the dashboard is Prakriti, that is prediction and assessment of corona infections and transmissions in India. So this dashboard will provide the value of R0 of each district of India. What is R0? R0 is the number that specifies how contagious an infectious disease is. That means it specifies that how many person will be infected from one person. So if R0 is 4, I am oversimplifying it so that you can understand. So if R0 is 4, that means one person will infect 4 people. If R0 is 1, that means one person will infect only one more person. Next news is related to NTPC. So NTPC recently launched hydrogen fuel car and bus project for Leh and New Delhi. NTPC is National Thermal Power Corporation. Next is related to BRICS. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. So recently the meeting of BRICS foreign ministers held over video conferencing, and our Minister of External Affairs Mr. S. Jaishankar participated, and Russia presided over this meeting. So these were few events. Now these events will be covered in upcoming days in question format also. So don't worry that why only specified news was given in this direct format. So that's all for the day. Thank you.